Welcome back to another Inside Lansing, where today's guest is Debbie Albrecht, the Director of the Lansing Public Library. Debbie, thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We haven't had you on the show in a while. In fact, we haven't had you on the show since the start of the pandemic we had last year and currently still in. So maybe we could start there and talk a little bit about the pandemic hit, and you guys had a chance to respond to that. How did the library deal with that?
Well, it's been a challenging year, that's for sure. We were closed in the beginning for a while, for a couple of months. That was interesting because we tried to transition to staff working at home still because we were getting paid, and we wanted to try to, earn our keep there. So we figured out how to do some of that. We figured out how to put some programming online really fast. The website turned into a neighborhood message board. Not just the library, but other things going on too. We reopened in July, and we've been open ever since.
To the public?
Lansing residents only.
Lansing residents only, okay. So is that your way to help with restrictions, or
Yes.
Is there other restrictions and other things that policies you have in
That's
place?
the way to keep the crowds down and to be able to service our people. I mean, it's our, Lansing tax dollars. In the beginning, we were open to everybody, but we only have 8 public computers now because we have to do the social distancing.
So you move the computers apart, or you have
we just blocked them off, in between. We don't use ones that we had, so it's like every other, Our computers are open for Lansing people. Our study rooms are open always just for Lansing folk. We do have some folks run in and out to browse the collection and pick up books and stuff. And we are doing curbside pickup where they put things on hold and we take them out to their car.
So there have been changes, and you have made changes that are
huge.
appropriate for the pandemic.
Yeah, big changes. I mean, seismic, really, for the library. We never used to do anything online. And now everything has to be, all our programming has to be online.
Do you see this, say, in a few more months or maybe even a year from now, where we get our vaccines and people, there's a thought that, things are going to go back to the way they were, but I think there's also a thought that not everything will.
No.
Some things we've adapted to now because of this. Do you see the library adapting to some things that maybe you didn't do before but now are doing that you think will help?
I think online programming is now always going to be part of what we do. I don't think that
won't
ever
go
away.
Right.
It'll probably be less, but it's going to be a part of what we do from now on out. But libraries, change is huge. We're always changing. We're always adapting. So I think that's just going to be a part of what we are, and we're just going to have to learn to get better at it. I think we are all the time. We have story times, book celebrations. We do trivia. We try to do a lot of just fun things.
There's always possibilities.
Right.
And my thought is, I'm just thinking through this, that you stayed open mostly as much as you could during the pandemic. The beginning you
Yes.
didn't, but later on you worked it out and figured out how to stay open during the pandemic. Other libraries haven't followed suit, so why do you feel the Lansing Public Library, why do you feel it's important that you be open during these times?
Well, I think the library is kind of the only bastion for computer use for a lot of people who don't have access to computers. That's like the really big thing to me. Also, just a lifeline to people who reading is important to, watching a movie is important too, that they can get without having to pay for it. So I think we're servicing those kind of folks. No one can come and sit anymore, but they can come in and say hi. So we are also kind of the only outlet for a lot of older folks who will just literally come in and say, hi, good to see you, and they get their books and they go home, but gives them a little bit of
It's more than just a
contact.
place to read. It's
Absolutely.
it's that, but also much more of that. There's a lot more events, and that's
it's
what I want to say.
tricky.
With the pandemic, you're still doing some events, correct?
We're no events in person.
No events in
No.
person. Okay.
No.
So just online events.
Right.
Okay.
Right now, that's what we're doing. Hoping that by the time June rolls along, we'll be able to have the block party, but we don't know for sure.
Moving on from the pandemic, maybe we could talk a little bit more about some other things happening at the library. One such thing is technology with seniors, that you're having this program. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we were fortunate enough to get a grant from Age Options for $10,000 with the goal
$10,000, that's a lot.
yeah. The goal being to help seniors who really feel isolated during this time to learn how to use technology, engage with things that are happening online at least, so that they don't feel so lonesome, which is really tricky because trying to reach seniors especially who don't understand how to use technology during this time when you can't talk to them in person is a really tricky thing.
Okay.
So we've bought some tablets. We're working up real simple little videos on how to, do an email, how to click on to Zoom, really simple things. Then we're going to do some ads in the journal, some targeted mailing to seniors and children of seniors, we're hoping, to get their parents to sign up for. There's a lot of stuff out there for them.
Yes.
If they can get over the fear of, I can't do that.
The Zoom meetings are a big thing. We had family stuff where we have Zoom meetings, and even younger, everybody doesn't know, what do I hit? What do I have to, there's a password I have to enter in here. So it's great that you're able to have the resources to help people
so that's going to be
figure out how to use that.
A big push this year is going to be trying to engage the seniors. So.
And then there's other things happening in the library too, such as improvements, remodels and stuff. Maybe you could tell people a little bit about what remodels are happening.
This is like the last phase of the remodels for the building. We've done the outside, we did the upstairs, now we're doing the lower level. The lower level is where our children and teen department is, our community room is. We're expanding the teen department. We knocked out a wall and it's going to be bigger. We're going to have homework space for them. We already have gaming and the computer use in that room. In the community room, we're making the community room a place for meetings and for programs, but also a makerspace area.
Okay.
And we're adding a little audio room and a video room so that people can make little videos. We're going to have the green wall on the whole business. Maybe somebody wants to come in and, play their guitar and make a record or make a sound recording, not a record. Sure. Why, I really dated myself there, didn't I?
Yeah, you can still make a record these days.
So we're adding some of those new things to us, and we'll see how we'll see what the response is. We really don't know. But
when can we look forward to maybe seeing these being finished?
The whole remodel will probably, we're hoping, be done by the end of April. We might not open until June, depending on when furniture gets here, and we have to put everything back into place. We moved everything out. There's no shelves left. There's no books left. So we have some rearranging to do. So I'm hoping, again, maybe the block party on June 4th, that we could do a grand reopening. It'll probably, hopefully, be open sometime in May.
So you're looking at a block party, looking to any other events over maybe next few months or summer months?
We got to play it by ear. Right now, it kind of looks like we won't be able to do anything in person until summer. Now, if that changes, we'll roll with it and we'll figure it out. We really missed having our concerts this winter.
Yes.
Everybody missed that. But we couldn't do it. You can only have 10 people. So
yeah, everybody's been playing everything by ear this past year. So.
Well, you just really have to,
you
just
move
have
to
fast.
be ready.
Be adaptable, flexible.
Be adaptable. Well, I want to say thank you again for being on the show. I have one more question for you. It's probably one that I've asked you before in the past, but after a year like this, maybe you feel differently, maybe you don't. I would just like to know personally from Debbie Albrecht, what do you love about being the Lansing Public Library Director?
I really do love my job. I've been the director for, it'll be 15 years in June. So it's been a wonderful time. I've completely redone the library, made it a better space for all of our people, made it a flexible space so we can use it for a whole lot of different things. Trying to better serve everybody, no matter what group it is, if it's the little teeny ones, up to now the seniors We're trying to put some more emphasis on that, get those teens more engaged so that our interactions with them are positive, and building a good staff to be able to, coordinate all of that. So I think we've done a pretty darn good job over the years, and working with village partners too has been huge. And that's important because the library is a community center. It's not just a place for books.
That's right. Well, again, thank you, Debbie, for being on the show.
Thank you very much, Neil.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside Lansing.